I'm going to share with you how I became rich through prayers. Now, many people, especially church critics, don't believe that, you can get wealth through prayers. But before you jump to conclusion, I want you to just pay attention, and I'm going to share with you exactly what worked for me, and you're going to judge for yourself if what I'm actually saying makes sense, is the truth or not. Okay, so about 6 to 7 years ago, when I was beginning to ask myself questions about my purpose, my life, what I want to do, you're young and you want to get a path that you're going to be pursuing and start applying your energy with. And I began a couple of projects, and since you're young, you have no experience and perhaps even no immediate mentor you can learn from, you kind of struggle to evolve and grow in those engagements. And that was my experience. But then there was this prayer meeting in church that was taking place. I think it was every Monday. And so I just decided to be part of that prayer meeting. And so I made it a habit every week. And I began realizing something, that during the prayers, somewhere in between, I'll start having thoughts about what I should do next concerning the projects, the businesses I had at hand. And usually I'll feel like those are my thoughts. I'm not like, no, man, you have to focus, stop thinking, this is prayer, stop getting distracted. And somehow those thoughts will not go away. And I realized that these are not actually my thoughts, because there was no way I knew that doing this and doing that is going to get me this result. So gradually, towards the end of the prayers, it's always the case. And so after the prayers, I'll take a pen and jot down those things. And when I applied them, I was very, very shocked at the instant and exponential results and the difference they made. And so I just made it a habit to continuously attend these meetings so that I can continue having access to these ideas. And it was a funny experience, and the results were so clear. So after a couple of years, I had to move out of that town and I went to a different town. And so I couldn't really take part in those prayer meetings again. And without realizing it, I began struggling with inspiration, with ideas on what to do next, how to handle this challenge, how to take care of that. So I realized that I could no longer depend on group prayer meetings. Group prayer meetings are good, but you have to develop your own personal prayer time. And so forging to kind of reproduce the same experience of prayer and praying for the things, praying for other people and all of that, I began realizing that gradually I was beginning to have access again to that same inspiration, that same divine inspiration. And so that's exactly how I got here. And I tell you, those ideas, the continuous inspiration has made a dramatic difference in my life. Now, I want to say something that's going to shock a lot of people, especially, the religious Christians, and pay close attention to my words. God never really blesses financially. Or for the most part, if you look at scripture and you go through the journey of scripture, 99% of the people and their experiences there to wealth and finances, they were never blessed with finances. You understand? What God does bless is He blesses you idealically. I don't know if that's a word, but we can add that to the dictionary. So He doesn't necessarily bless you financially, but He blesses you idealically. And to prove my point, I can take you through Genesis to Revelation, and you're going to see people over and over again where God says He's going to bless them, and what He gives them is an idea. And from that idea, they get wealth, they get prosperity, they get health, they get victory in every other area of their life. Right from Isaac, where he has ideas to dig wells instead of running down to Egypt like his father did, to Jacob, who had ideas to become the first geneticist or expert in biotechnology. And you can move right up even to Job, who was the wealthiest man in the East, and he could even say with his own words that in the days of his youth, when the secrets of the Lord were upon his tabernacle, those secrets are ideas, they are revelations. David, all his exploits in the military fronts were the product of him always seeking for inspiration, for ideas, for revelation from God in the place of prayer. And so those tactics that he received are even being studied today in military academies. All of that were ideas. You look at Joseph. How do you take a nation through 7 years of famine and accumulate so much wealth, own all the lands of Egypt to the point where people can tell you, give us food and take our bodies and we shall be your slaves? All of that takes ideas on how to handle a famine. Daniel, who had the opportunity through 60 years serving more than 4 kings, to have accumulated more wealth in Babylon than any other person, was all the product of ideas. Ideas on interpreting the king's dreams, ideas on interpreting the handwritings of the wall. You have to understand that ideas, revelations, inspirations, they are the same thing. Directions on what you should do and how you should do. You even look at the prophets. I mean, the prophet could have easily told that woman, the Lord will bless you financially. Go home and lift up your bed and you're going to see a pile of money there. You take it and you pay your debts. No, he said, paraphrase, you know what? I have an idea. Sure, there is a divine intervention in there, but it's still an idea. Go borrow the gallons, pour in the oil, sell the oil, then you would have money to take care of your bills. So all through scriptures, you see ideas, you see revelations, you see inspirations, and this is what actually gives the people wealth and triumph. So when I tell you that I became rich through prayers, I'm telling you that I became rich by accessing ideas that get wealth in the place of prayer. I mean, if you want ideas, where do you get them? You get them from the source of all wisdom, the source of all ideas, the source of all revelations. Dr. Monroe says everything is the product of an idea, and ideas rule the world. So if you're struggling in any area of your life, if you're struggling with one thing or the other, what you really need is ideas. What you really need is inspiration. What you really need is revelation on what you should do next. And I bet you there is only one place you can be guaranteed to get the best ideas, and that's from the King and the source of all ideas. And the simple way is by asking. Ask and you will receive. It's as simple as that. You lack wisdom because you do not ask. So why don't you start today and start asking ideas, start asking for wisdom instead of asking for finances, instead of asking for things. Ask for ideas, because ideas are seeds, and in those seeds comes every other thing that you really want, and the immutable. You can transform an idea to meet every other need. Compared to finances that may only handle things that are financial, ideas cover wealth, cover health, cover peace, cover joy. They cover everything that concerns you. So I hope you learned a thing or two from this video. Begin today, start restructuring your prayer life so that you can access ideas that will bring the desired results that you want in your life. Remember, this video is made possible by our amazing family of patrons. You too can support this channel. The link is in the description below. Smash that like button if you enjoyed the video, subscribe, and until the next video, remain blessed.